So now I'm going to teach you based on the principle of what we just taught, because now we're in this like light energy, we're already in this container. The next part is going to make even more sense. So as I was saying before, the feminine energy, which is this basically a spiral energy, it's the receptive energy, is the passive energy, the one that just sits back and allows, whereas the masculine energy is the one that goes and does. So this is why we have this thing that goes like this, you know, it's like an engine. Positive, negative, positive, negative. So the feminine energy is known as the negative because it's like this, retracted. And the masculine is the positive, is forward, it's the action portion. Same, we'll say the moon is the passive, and the sun, you know, is again the masculine, and the moon is the feminine. So everything has this kind of polarity, duality. And we could say men and women, but in reality, men and women is more like, I mean, of course, there's these energies, but we, as beings, we have both energies. And the whole point of the imbalance, and therefore the, let's say, when we're not like the, not, let's say not illness, but when we have ailments or any kind of ailments, whether it's mental, emotional, physical, we're out of alignment. Usually there are imbalances within these two energies that are not functioning properly, or some of the energy centers are not functioning properly. So the basic thing to do is to get these two channels, which are, you know, the feminine channel usually goes through the left side of the body, and the masculine channel through the right side of the body. And I think the brain is opposite. And the idea is to then bring the feminine energy to circulate within both channels. So whatever has not been calibrated, so what we're going to do is almost like a calibration of the first layer, which is the first chakra, or the first three, you know, the low ones, and really ground and go on the ground. It's like grounding a cable of, you know, when you plug a cable and you need to ground it, you know, it's kind of like that. Otherwise we're like up here, and then the energy doesn't connect. So that's why the first section we did, as we did this heart energy, also grounded. And now what we're going to do is the removal, release of whatever blockages. Now that we did the Akashic record recognition, these things might even take some time, because everything comes by layers. So anything that happens now will probably move something that could later just come up, and you're like, what happened? Just know that things are moving. Whether you're conscious of it or not, it doesn't matter. They're moving anyway. So the basic exercise I'm going to teach you now, it's very tiny circles with your pelvis. So I don't know if you can see me, but I'm just going to see if you can see it. I don't think you can see it. So basically, I'm just going to explain it. Too black. Yeah, you go to the left. I'm just going to explain it, because with your, like, can you do this? Like, just move. Like, I'm moving my pelvis, you know, look, I'll show you here. You see how I'm just doing this? So I'm not moving the body, I'm just moving the bottom. Like, I want to rock on my seat, the sits bones. Can you feel the sits bones? When you rock the sits bones from one sits bones to the next? Yeah. So that is the first thing. Now, another very important thing for this exercise is to release completely, relax completely the muscles of the belly, and whatever muscles there, you know, like, do not hold anything like this. Just really see what it feels like. So probably just first tighten all your muscles there, like tighten the muscles of your butt, or tighten everything. And now tight, like when you want to go to the bathroom and you have to like hold it. Now do the opposite, just release, and allow all of that to be like super floppy. So belly floppy, everything. Yeah, well, it goes like this. Like, the image I have is this, boom, because that's where the energy can actually start moving. I don't know if you've noticed that in our society, usually we're told to have our everything like tucked in, and, you know, but in the energy, what that does is it doesn't allow the energy to actually circulate and move. And it just kind of keeps it blocked from connecting to the ground. And then it creates a ton of different blockages. So what we want to do first is recognize when the lower centers are tight in the body, and how we can just, by doing this and going the belly and everything, everything just opens up for this energy to actually start circulating. So that's the first thing. So the first exercise would be to just kind of tighten it. So we're just going to do this a few times. Breathe in. Tight, 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 and then breathe out. Relax. And if something's still tight, just relax. Again, breathe in. So we're gonna do everything by threes. And breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. Now the second thing we're gonna do, and then we're gonna do a little sequence with music, with all these things, right? I'm just gonna show you first, and then we're just gonna do the whole meditation, which is 3 of each. Now the second thing, now that we did the sits bones, now that that's relaxed, just do from side to side the little sits bone thing, like move, like if these are your sits bones, kind of shift, yeah, like you're wiggling, yeah. You can keep your hands on your knees like this, like I have here, and just kind of like wiggle that. And just even wiggle like super tiny, little tiny wiggles, super soft. So now that you understand the basic of the wiggle and you feel it's, the muscles barely move. Now you're gonna do the same thing, but super tiny, like almost imperceptible. Like, what's the tiniest movement you could do? So now we're gonna do the next exercise, now that you understood that little wiggling. So first, release everything. Second, wiggle. Third, now we're gonna do circles. So the circle goes from the forward to the left. So I mean the left, where you would be this, but forward, left, back, like a little circle, horizontal circle with, yeah, like a little, with those sits bones. So it's not the top of your body, it's the sits bones, like the pelvis, your hips. So here I see it's big, you know, you can see it's big. So let's try big just to practice. So I'm just going to show it again here. This is like, I'm moving it like this. And it's a circle. So it's not a circle of the body, it's a circle of the lower part. Again, it doesn't have to be big. It could be very tiny. Just now that you experience it a little bit big, now try and do little circles, very little. Imagine the circle is as little as a, I don't know, a coin, the size of a coin. You had to draw a little circle to the left, the size of a coin. And feel like how the muscles just kind of shift from which ones are tensing and which ones are releasing. They relay. Some muscles tense, some muscles release. But the belly is released. So it's just the tiny little muscles of your sits bones kind of go like this. Boop, 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 boop. So we're going to do 3 circles with 1 breath like this. 1, I keep breathing in. 2, I keep breathing in. 3. So with the inhale, we do 3 and then we hold. Let's do that. 3 and hold and go. 1, 2, 3, hold and exhale. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, hold and exhale. And third time. 1, 2, 3, hold and exhale. That is the left side. Then let's get the basics first, and then I'll explain what we need to do with these circles. Now we're going to do the right side. That's to the right side. So the same thing, we're going to go the circle, but we're going to move the circle to the right. So that's activating the right channel, or the masculine channel. So same little circle, but to the right. Let's do it 3 times. Let's go. So practice first how to move to the right. And notice the difference between left and right. And again, there's like no right or wrong way to do it. It's more like whether or not you feel that this energy creates a little circle. The movement is a little circle. And the tinier, the better for now. It doesn't need to be huge. It just needs to be extremely relaxed. So let's try, and we're gonna do the breathing in, and we're gonna breathe in. So breathe in first, and with the exhale, do the circle. So I'm gonna take a deep breath in, and with the exhale, I'm gonna do the circles. And hold, and then breathe in, and with the exhale, I do the circles. Breathe in, exhale, circle. So now that you understood, breathing in through the left moves to the left. Breathing out through the right moves to the right. So we're going to put the two things together. So we do a breath in 3 with the left circle. 1, 2, 3. Hold, exhale. 1, 2, 3 to the right. So we have 1, 2, 3. Hold. 1, 2, 3. And you see it creates this infinity. You know, it's going to create 3 here and 3 here. So we're going to do that 3 times. Let's just try it. And let's go, and breathing 1, 2, 3. Hold, exhale. 3. And again to the left, inhale. 1, 2, 3. Hold, exhale. 3. Hold, inhale. 1, 2, 3. Hold, exhale. 1, 2, 3. Relax. So you get the gist of it, 3 and 3, and this you could just do rhythmically, you know. Now the last part of this is to now visualize. So at this moment, if you can just do that with your feet on the ground. So same thing, if your feet are not touching, now make sure your feet are touching the ground. So this movement, now as you do the inhale through the left, really imagine that you're pulling in energy from, do you remember that cord we created to the center of the planet, that we rooted? So you're going to imagine that that comes up through there, and it comes up through the feet, and it's a very clear, high frequency vibration energy, because we just kind of went there. So it comes up and it kind of washes anything that needs to wash through that. Then it comes up all the way here. Actually, we're doing, yeah. And then it just kind of comes down through this side like that. And when you do the exhale. So when you do the inhale, you do the 3 circles, like pulling it up. And as you pull up, then when you pull down and you change directions, you imagine the thing going like a little screwdriver down, screwdriver up, screwdriver down. So it's all these little spirals coming up, coming down. So it creates this loop. So what this loop is doing, it's literally moving whatever's in that lower area or those channels, and just dissolving or releasing and allowing that energy that's very pure and bright to move whatever has been stuck there, because we don't know, there's things stuck for many lifetimes, many that we are not even aware of. So in order to help the healing process, instead of waiting for that to just come up and have a mental breakdown, this is already helping to, you know, it's like when you have tangled yarn and you just kind of untangle it, instead of having to cut it. This is already untangled, so it's easy. So let's try. So I'm going to put some music, and we're going to do, the first thing is tighten, release, tighten, release, tighten, release 3 times. Now we do the wiggle, 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 wiggle. So we do the wiggle, and then we do the circles. 3 to the right, 3 to the left, and we do that 3 times. So in total, it's 9 times. And that's it. That's gonna be like, and that's like what I call the phase 1 initiation of things. So we're just gonna do the whole thing with music. Did I put the music? No, music is here. Hold on, let's put the music on. Okay, so now that we're hearing the music, tune in. So let me see. Let's 1, 2, 3. Hold. 1, 2. So that's the rhythm. So we can just do this. So let's start with the basic hold. 2. So let's start with that. Let's go. And contract. 2, 3. Hold. Release. 1. Breathe. 3. Hold. In. Contract. 3. Hold. Release. 2, 3. Hold. Last time. 1, 2. Breathe in. Contract. Hold. Release. 2, 3. Release. Wiggle to the sides. 1. Just re-wiggle. Wiggle. As you wiggle, make sure to release more and more. Open everything. And last time. And now we're going to begin with the circles to the left, inhaling through the left channel. And let's go. 1, 6, 7. Let's go. And 1, 2. Inhale. 3. Hold. Release. Exhale to the right. Hold. Inhale. 1, 2, 3. Hold. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Hold. Inhale. 1, 2, 3. Hold. Exhale. 2, 3. Hold. Just relax. Wiggle a little bit. Make sure your body is relaxed. Now, however you want, now without any structure, I will invite you to play with this idea of circles to the right or the left. Imagine that energy just moving and dissolving that yarn of energy or block energy, whatever could be there, just circulating with this bright light as you keep making circles to one side and the other side. So now it's however you want to play, just with the enjoyment of how soft. And you can do them even slower if you feel like it. You can do little, very slow circles. And as you do the circles and waves, just feel the softness, that energy grounding through the feet, moving up through the left, down through the right. Just play with it. Use your breath close your eyes and focus on that, how that movement just focus on the tiny movements, a little bit bigger movements, a little bit slower movement or faster movement. But if it's a little bit faster, make sure it's not jagged, it's really fluid. So there is no tension whatsoever. Allow also your jaw to drop and not be tense. So if you feel your jaw is tensing, just release the jaw as you keep moving. One more minute. And slowly go into stillness, and as you stay in the stillness, just focus on how the energy is moving. If you notice anything within your body, just see if you can notice a very subtle thing as you focus your awareness on whether there's any tension anywhere, or if anything moves within, from your feet. Notice if there's some tingling. Make sure your breath is still fluid, so not stuck. You can still release with the breath and relax the body. And now we're going to take 3 deep breaths. 1 for mind. Release. 1 for body. And 1 for spirit. And as we close this session, we want to thank the beings of light, whatever assistance we're getting into doing our quantum jumps of evolution. into higher levels of consciousness, the upgrades, the release of old stagnant energy. So it may be and declared it is in all time, spaces, dimensions, and realities. And we just can come back together and take the glass of water or the water. Say the water in your hands. It's very important. The water, what it does is as the energy moves, it helps flush, like even at a cellular level. A little tip for water is, if you can, in the next days, put your water in a jug, in a glass jug, and put it where the sun hits it, like this. I'm going to show you. You see my jug over there? The blue jug? There's a blue jug. Can you see it? Yeah? Mm-hmm. So I have the water in that blue jar. I put it there, and the sun hits it every morning. I have also crystals, quartz crystals in there too. So what happens as the sun rays penetrate and all the energy and the photons get into the water that came from the tap and is like, you know, let's say not organized, starts getting infused with the sun rays, infused with the higher light, and infused with that energy, and the crystals in there get that infusion. And when you drink the water that you take from your jug, then this information gets slowly into your cells. This is a slow process, but it's just a little change of habit. You know, just put the water in a glass thing near the sun, and that's where you pour it from. And this little change of habit, the first thing I do in the morning before eating anything is drinking a glass of water. So anything from the night and the energy that's like whatever, it just flushes. So it's not only going to start helping you flush actual physical density, physical whatever within, you know, but slowly as the energetic of the molecules of the water also start getting into the energetic body with that information. So this may seem like not a very important process, but as you kind of take it as a little habit, over time you'll see a lot of stuff, emotional thing, brain clarity, maybe even ailments will start clearing. And again, everything's layers. And this, I would like to know if within the coming days or weeks, I would recommend you do this little practice. Again, you can do it just 5 minutes, you know, with the breathing in and the breathing out and the breathing in and the breathing out, like always by threes, 3 by 3 nines, and then however, then you can just play with it. You can find a nice music that's like soothing. And like I say, I do it in my bed before I wake up. I just do the little movements, and I allow consciously to have that energy flow, and that already sets up the day for being rooted in a different kind of energy. And then I drink my water. And all of this, even though it seems like little tiny things, as we incorporate these little tiny things into our routines, over time, the accumulation of these habits is what starts changing and shifting all of the energy. And it's almost like effortless. It just happens. So we don't have to go to like the dramatic therapy or anything, just little things over time completely wash off. So this is why the water is very important. And I recommend you also drink water after this, and like more water now, because as this energy moves, you're going to want to drink water like a lot, because that's what flushes whatever's stagnant, whatever it goes. So yeah. Now I would like to hear what your experience was like.
It was very warm. There was lots of heat. It was very warm.
Okay, so that's definitely activating that chakra. So
and I was seeing lots of red.
You were seeing it in your mind? Or
yeah. Everything felt red.
That is the root chakra, is the red chakra. So it's being activated, which it's exactly what needs to happen. But because we're activating it and grounding it, like with the proper energy, anything that's going to come with the next, as we progress with these exercises, I'll be doing more of this. what happens is that we're almost like lighting up each thing with the right calibrated energy, and not with lots of outside things. It's our own inner energy. And the heat definitely activates and also needs to release stuff. So that's when the energy gets really. How about you, Amy? Did you feel anything, any kind of anything or whatever?
Like I felt like there was more space afterwards. Like I felt lighter. Like there was more space inside of me.
Yeah.
That's what I felt. Yeah, I just felt lighter after. Yeah. What did you feel, Saba? Did you feel anything?
Probably. Animals are so perceptive. And so it's not.
She really is.
It's not uncommon that after doing these exercises, the energy, the basic primal energy may activate. So you might have bursts of things, maybe emotional stuff may come up. You might feel very like, I don't know, like even needing like restless. There might be things, I don't know what, that each person's different. Just take note during these days, and if you do it like every day, at least, like, and again, do it every day, 15 days, like 2 weeks would be the, to see like actual changes. Otherwise, well, yeah, you do it is fine, but what happens after that? What could eventually happen is that the Kundalini energy will start waking up. And do not be afraid if you start feeling like rushes of energy, vibrations, maybe at night when you're sleeping. This is part of that process. But because we're waking it up and we're also healing it at the same time. So it will not wake up and then send us into some kind of lower astral experiences, because it's already connected to the right frequency. This is why these exercises, when you see like Kundalini things, many people do exercises, but without having grounded first. So remember, the first grounding comes with the heart energy. So that's the very first thing you do. You can do like 1 minute of expansion through the heart, and that, like 1 minute. Then you do the little circles, you can do the wiggles, and it will take you 5 minutes in total. Like, it doesn't have to be super lengthy. Then there's other exercises. This could be a whole hour of stuff, because there's a lot of stuff that goes up. But this is what I'm developing precisely with the feminine flow, is to really ground that energy. And so this is just this is not even phase 1. This is the initial, what I would call the preparation. And after the prep comes the actual dance. It's a whole dance. So and it should be fun. First you learn like the technique of the circles and stuff, but then you start playing with it, and then the fun of it is to actually play with it and see what it does as you move and as you activate that, how the energy moves, if you see colors, that's the whole point. So yeah, welcome to the feminine flow grounding. So I was telling Amy at the beginning that this came as something that's like imprinted in my cellular memory from what my guides say, Atlantis, and I'm like, I'm starting to remember too that I know this, for some reason. And the reason why the information just comes is just like downloads. I just kind of know, and then I just put a structure to it. And it's funny because the structure, I remember when I started testing this, I was in a dream, and then I was just waking up, and as I woke up, it was like in 3. I was like, why 3? But it was that. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to question it. I'm just going to say it's 3. And then when I talked to Laura, she explained me why 3s, why this, why that, why, so basically I just get the information and she explains why. And that was pretty cool, because it's like, oh, I see why. So there is a why to everything, and know that it does that. It does it. It's not like, well, does it really work? It does it. Whatever it needs to do, it does it. And right now I'm just testing. So the idea would be like, if you want to write me an email or anything, checking in with any kind of experience that you might have in the coming days, that would be like super cool, because then we can see what's happening. The idea is not to just lose contact completely, but stay connected. You can post in the Heart Circle group on Facebook, make posts, makes comments. It's a group precisely because that's where we also share information. And as we have these experiences, it's nice to verbalize. If you feel comfortable, of course, you don't have to, but you can just also private message me, and we can just talk about it. And also make sure to, like, if you know, share with people these events, like tell them when they're happening, like if you know people, because again, I try to do all this Facebook stuff, but it's just a lot of work to set up, do the, you know, have everybody, you know, it's good when we have people that should come. And that's that. Anything else? No, I think that's about it. I will be having, so the next Heart Circle will be in a month, and I don't know what the theme's gonna be. Usually it comes just at some point. But I'll be still doing the guided meditations on the Wednesdays for now. Again, next Wednesday I won't because I have a meeting, but again, as I'll just keep posting stuff. And stay also tuned for when I start doing the whole feminine flow chroma movement thing. I'll just direct you there while I develop it. Right now I'm testing it with subjects, basically. The ones that are going to start this, and then eventually we'll expand. So I think, thank you for coming.
Very
And
cool.
if you want to say anything else, if I don't know, any comments, any
It was fun.
Yeah, I had fun. Thanks.
Okay, awesome.